Ironclad's favorite beverage on a hot summer day, Barricade. I am going to take this Barricade though. The red and needle gives us plated armor that's block at the end of each turn, and so is a Heart of Iron, which is Metallicize. I mean, I think the only reasonable thing to do at this point is to buy more Metallicize. Right? Starting with that Runic Pyramid, as is the case for all the runs of the Runic Pyramid ladder. That's the challenge. Can we win 20 runs in a row, once on each difficulty level, all against the heart, without ever discarding a card at the end of turn? So, pathing-wise, we had quite a few upgrades going the left path here, with an optionality for a second store. Kind of interesting. We could take an early elite and go elite heavy, fighting as many as 3, even potentially taking out the burning elite here. Them waffles, though. I think going for the burning elite early is always something that should be considered if you're aiming for a heart run. Freeing up your ability to path in Act 2 and 3 and removing that superpowered unit from the board. Right? If you kill the empowered elite in Act 1, it doesn't appear later and becomes something that you potentially have to avoid in Act 2. Means you'll have a lot more options. There's also like a reasonable medium of upgrading here and then cutting across, getting these two elites. But I think an upgrade heavy line would work pretty well here. Pyramid decks are going to be very good at building small. I want to take as many combats as possible. Let's get 3 combats and then into the events. And we'll figure out from here what we want to do. I like that challenge idea, Feli. I like that a lot. That's one I have considered in the past. And I think might be something I get to do sometime in the future. Alright, what's the line here? We can very precisely plan our combat lines, I think. I'm going to play 1 defend this turn, and 2 defends next turn. It'll attack for 10. So we have 3 energy to spend on damage, and then on that next turn we need to get a kill. What's the best way to do that? We can bash this turn, and then strike next turn. That would be 8 plus 9 is 17. Leaving this enemy at 20. That won't be enough to kill. So what I need to do is strike twice this turn. No, that still won't be a kill, huh? I may have to strike twice next turn. Because 6 strikes does not kill this bird. It has 37 health, not 30... Not 36. Which means we either need to play 7 strikes, or we need to play at least 2 strikes during Bash's vulnerable period. Which means not playing 1 defend here, so we're going to take 6 damage in this fight. Interesting. But that's the outcome, even with a 3-strike draw on turn 1. So I think that means we bash this turn and then double strike next turn? Defending 1 time. But also bash again. That would put them down to... Doesn't really matter, right? Either way, we can't get away with only striking 1 time here, because they'll have 20 hit points and won't be vulnerable next turn. So we take 5 more. Ooh. 3 different offerings of damage. I tend to think Pyramid quite likes 0-cost attacks, and Anger... Anger's pretty good here, I suspect. The fact that Anger duplicates itself might even be a boon, because as we draw more of them, we can just play more of them and continue cycling our cards. Too wet! Did you hear about the company that was staffed entirely by Ironclads? They all ended up going on strike. Perfected Strike with Pyramid could be an interesting open, too. This ends up being a nice big 2-cost damage card, and in this case we actually like it more than we would like Carnage, because we can retain the Perfected Strike, which we can't do for Carnage. Carnage has that ethereal property. So of the 2-cost attacks, Perfected Strike might even be one of the better ones to see here with Pyramid. That's an interesting thought. That said, I still think I prefer the Anger. Make some dupes of that. The 0-cost strike that we can play is definitely valuable. We'll just kill you. We have guaranteed full block, no matter what this enemy does. You fool. And so even though we just played 3 defends, we're almost guaranteed to draw a whole bunch of them again, because all of the attack cards in the deck are still in our hand here. Or, we could also draw tons of damage. Oh yeah, I really like that Anger already. Oh, we could have had 2 of them! This is one of those 6 copies of Perfected Strike Seed. Cleave is very, very reasonable here too, giving us some very good AoE, which we'll appreciate against sentries or against many of the hard pool encounters of the act. It's also a really good upgrade. I do not mind me a Cleave one bit. Name of the game that was sponsored yesterday is Griftlands Digidata, and we'll be playing some more of that today. Not sponsored, just because I want to. Between, after yesterday's stream, I unlocked the Smith character, so we can dive straight on into checking out Smith's story when we play that game today. And if you want a Steam link for it, I've got one that tells the devs you got it from me. The Perfected Strike even plays pretty well with the Anger that we already have. That said, I am seriously eyeing this Cleave. Yeah, I'm going to take the Cleave. We're not going to get that many card rewards. If I was taking a more combat-heavy route through the act, I think the Perfected Strike might actually be really good. I mean, it could still be really good. It's all on the draws, though. Alright, I'm down. That's the 2-cost attack that I'm going to take. Sever Soul. Sever Soul exhausts all non-attack cards in our hand and does reasonable damage for that investment. And we're going to look for opportunities to use this to burn stuff like status cards and to potentially gain block, or maybe just boil down the deck into nothing but Angers. I definitely think that I want to take the advantage of the opportunity to remove a strike here and really shrink this deck down. Pyramid decks in general are going to appreciate smolitude. We might even end up going double shops for double removes here. And I can comfortably do that with the Sever Soul. As MJit in chat notes, Sever Soul against Hexaghost is going to enable us to remove burns, and we also have a Liquid Bronze, so I'm not too worried about the Hexaghost fight. Okay, so true and honest opinion on Griftlands, and I'll try to remember to do this again when we start when we play it again later today. But I think that Griftlands is both a really cool one-time story RPG and a really cool deck builder. But I think that the fusion of them kind of hurts them both a little bit, both of those elements, in that the deck building ends up a little compromised by your encouragement to take choices for story reasons, and the RPG gets a little compromised for the sake of making it replayable. Ultimately, it seems like a really, really cool entry into the deck-building genre, and I like a lot of the changes that I've seen to the game since its original early access release. I look forward to playing quite a bit more of it. I also look forward to trying more of the Brawl mode, which might totally solve that kind of genre fusion compromisability aspect. At least when looking at it from the vein of a roguelite. If you're the type to play these kinds of games through once or twice to the end, and not more than that, Griftlands will be an excellent, excellent title for you. So if you only have maybe 30, 40 hours to invest, or even just a couple dozen. But if you're looking for something that you can sink hundreds of hours into, I'm not sure about that yet. But I do want to play more of it. That is a pretty good sign. The vast majority of games don't get that far. And for what it's worth, yeah, so, yeah, I don't think it necessarily has the replayability of Slay the Spire, but I feel like Slay the Spire is also the most replayable game I've ever found. Barring maybe like chess or something, if you count that. There's so much nearly infinite, endless replayability here. It's absolutely bonkers, and to compare anything else is a little unfair. Played a deck builder with that kind of hundreds of hours of replayability other than Monster Train and Spire. I feel like Arcanium might end up being there. I think Arcanium is really, really promising, Slowbad, speaking of. Feels like a game that is well on the right track to becoming very good. Is hardcore Minecraft a roguelite? So, kind of yes, actually, right? Because you've got all the key components, which are random world generation and permadeath. So I think you could make a reasonable argument to some level that it is, right? Not to derail the conversation there, but it's kind of cool to think about it from a like what makes a roguelite exactly. I think I'm gonna go with the heavier upgrade route here, by the way. So, what is the plan for this fight? I'm glad I upgraded Cleave. I'm not gonna get tricked into losing my liquid bronze. How much damage can we potentially do next turn? If we manage to draw Anger and Cleave, we can do 12 plus 11 is 23. Plenty. As long as I do... Well, hold on. Not plenty. 23, 11... 29 damage. So I have to do at least 11 here, which means playing Sever Soul. Played on you. Happy to lose one defend here. If it means I might get a kill on this turn. We do. We do get a kill this turn. And I'll have to eat the full 10 damage to do that. But otherwise we're just, what, blocking for 10 and taking 10? No need, right? No need. I might want to rest at this fire, actually, depending on what we get from this elite. So, next turn we kill this one. We did not transform into Sever Soul, we picked it on purpose. With the intent being to just have a 2-cost attack, and to have a way to get rid of stinky statuses, or other things that we might want to remove from our hand. Worked out pretty well in that fight. Happy to see Paper Frog, causing enemies to take more damage when vulnerable. Do we add a Demon Form? Demon Form Angers is sure some scaling right there. Demon Form definitely a card that's pretty difficult to get into play a lot of the time. Don't often see a good opportunity for a Demon Form. This certainly feels like one. It scales Cleave really well, it scales Anger really well. It's going to multiply with the Paper Frog and the Bash really well. It definitely makes me want to rest going into the Elite. It'll probably be a free win against Lagavulin, but against Knob we could have a bad time with the wrong draw order. Well, maybe not that bad of a time. Is there ever a world where Gremling Knob deals 33 damage to me? Let's take this demon form. Worst case scenario, we can exhaust it with Sever Soul, right? So Knob is gonna do... We're on Ascension 8. So they might attack for 16-16, but that's... No matter what, we're surviving the second hit, right? It's either 8 plus 24 or 16 plus 16. Both of those add up to 32. We have 33 health. So we should be fine to upgrade here. And I think that means we get to upgrade our either Bash or Demon Form, and I think since we're specifically about to fight Lagavulin, who will wake up if we bash them with an upgraded Bash, we should upgrade the Demon Form instead. So I think what that means is we upgrade Demon Form here. Or we upgrade Sever Soul or Anger. Those are also acceptable options. Actually, it might be a lot smarter to upgrade this Sever Soul. Idea being there that it improves our front-loaded damage for the short fights, and upgraded Sever Soul is going to be better against a hard pool combat, for example. Oh, when's the stretch goal expire? Shoot, I actually meant to do that during the stream reroll right now. Today? Hold on, let me reset that right now. Because it was supposed to reset at the start of the month. Versus. But I do think I want to upgrade our either Sever Soul or Anger. Let's upgrade the Sever Soul. That's the biggest immediate turn 1 damage increase option that we have, and boy am I happy to see the strike dummy here on Ironclad. This could have been a pretty cool double perfected strike run, I have to say. Paper Frog, strike dummy. This was the blessed Peace Strike run. Most assuredly. Okay, we do get 8. And so is the Gremling Knob. 22 damage. Lord. If we hold the Anger, it'll do 2 more damage next turn with our Demon Form. Might have been able to play a Defend here. But if we play the Anger, we'll draw 1 more card and have a chance to redraw the Angers as well. I think in either case, we just have a lethal. Quite easily. Thanks to that incredibly powerful Paper Frog. Really happy to see Art of War with Runic Pyramid. If we don't play any attacks during our turn, we'll gain additional energy. Love Armaments with Pyramid, as it can upgrade everything in hand, but what about Battle Trance to get the handful of cards? Yeah, exactly, Blem. I imagine Clog with Peace Strike is really real, because you're not incentivized to exhaust your regular strike cards very much with Pyramid and Peace Strike. Pyramid wants to exhaust them so you don't draw them again. But Perfected Strike wants you to not do that, so what do? This is where you would want Discard to be a thing, but Ironclad doesn't have access to that mechanic. It's super hard to turn down Armor Pyramid, especially with the Art of War, admittedly. I think I want this card draw, with the Anger especially. I'm gonna take this Battle Trance, help get the hand full of cards in the first place to take benefit from the Runic Pyramid. What's up next? Shop. I think we get to not actually have to rest at all now, because of how well that Knob fight went. Let's get our Bash upgraded for the 3rd Vuln turn. I guess we're not going to upgrade this Demon Form for a bit. Dolly's Mirror. Interesting. What an interesting store we have. Yeah, Skeleton Penguin. Armaments does have a higher chance of being a card we see later, since it's a common versus an uncommon. I try not to weigh that too heavily in my decision-making when it comes to specific cards, and it's more a question of what other cards can perform the same role. What are our odds of finding another similar effect later, rather, versus the specific effect later. Source of card draw versus well, hard to duplicate armaments, but we can get stuff like Apotheosis. We can get events that upgrade stuff. Right now I'm wondering if I'm willing to pay 155 gold for Cleave Plus. A second copy. This is where the pre-strike run duplicates a Perfected Strike Plus. This would have been a pretty good Perfected Strike seed. You have good potions. This uppercut's pretty tempting. Mayhem's pretty hard to justify buying. It can be pretty useful if you've got a high-cost deck, and you don't particularly care about your card order. And Ironclad and Silent decks tend to fall into that category the most often. Defect and Watcher, I think, especially, rarely like Mayhem. But Mayhem additionally is a card I think that's often better when you create it randomly than it is versus something that you want to intentionally buy. So Mayhem that you generate via transmutation, and it costs 0 to play, is a lot better than this one is. Or potentially a Mayhem when you've got a mummified hand and it's being offered to you in the event in Act 3. Could be another time you might want to take it. But definitely consider whether you care about what order your cards go in, and if you do, then you probably don't want to take that. Another thing that's always good here is just Incense Burner, making us intangible every few turns, every 6 turns. That's an incredibly good defensive relic throughout the whole game. Costs almost all of our money, but it's a dang good use of all of our money. Spot Weakness, I think, is an excellent strength gain card here, although we do have... Well, we would appreciate Spot Weakness quite a bit. It works with the Art of War, too. I think I really like Spot Weakness plus a strike removal. We could consider Pommel Strike. Remember, this card does do 3 more damage, so it's 12 damage, draw a card. That's good. That's actually really good. Maybe, so Spot Weakness, Pommel Strike, card remove, I think is a completely reasonable pick here. Then we're doing lots of damage very quickly with this deck. Pommel Strike also becomes a pretty good upgrade. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see how that goes for us. Oh, and the Knob rematch. I'm just confident that the second Knob fight will go better than the first one did. So let's rematch the Gremling Knob here. This event will tell you which of the elites are going to return based on the text of the event tells you. So it'll say gouged and trampled by a horned beast if it's Gremling Knob, scorched and burned or something if it's the 3 centuries, and eviscerated and chopped by giant claws for Lagavulin. Don't think we ever get a kill right away. If I play defend, do I play demon for him? Play defend will take 13, go to 12? 12's a little bit uncomfortable to be at. Good news is this should give me enough money to remove another card at the shop. We don't have to risk that hard pool hallway fight. So take 16 or take slightly less than 16. I guess I'm going to choose to rest anyway. I'm just going to take the way that I'm going to get a guaranteed kill with here. So we'll take advantage of the 4 energy, the Paper Frog, and the bonus strength to just do many damages here. All that for a Bottled Flame. Well, that's not what I wanted. But, might be good though. Bottled Bash with Paper Frog is, I think, a reasonable addition. We could consider bottling Sever Soul as well. Or Cleave for a bit of AoE. Bottled Bash is pretty reasonable here. Because we really want that vulnerable to be online. More realistically, we want it on turn 2 after doing like Art of War turn 1, but let's Muddle the Bash. We'll see if we end up regretting that deeply or not. And I am going to opt out of this combat. There's definitely a world where, on 9 hit points, without resting, we defeat this combat, and also defeat Hexaghost. But this is a ladder streak, and so the consequences for disaster here are severe. There are hard pull combats in Act 1 that attack for up to 26 damage on turn 1. And if we run into one of those, probably gonna die. These potions, neither of these potions will save me from that fate. I will happily go to the store. Don't get to buy Brimstone, but there would have been a 4 copies of Perfected Strike leaving this act we could have had with Strike Dummy. Just saying. Shrug it off or a card removal. Or an offering. Offering is pretty tempting. Could even afford it alongside the Shrug it off. Can't buy the Bag of Preparation, which is truly, truly saddening. I like buying a Shrug here. We do want a little bit more block. For Act 2, especially. Wouldn't be anything else really to spend the money on. Again, I can't afford the removal alongside. Yeah. Let's see, against Hexaghost... I think we can upgrade if I buy a Gambler's Brew. From here. Going into Hexaghost. It eliminates any possibility of a disaster draw, and we definitely have enough block to mitigate the Hexaghost's attacks otherwise. Hey, Zizzy. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the Gambler's Brew, and then we're going to upgrade a card. I maybe want to upgrade my Shrug, even. Not for the Hexaghost fight specifically, but for what comes beyond. So we have enough block against Shell Parasite, etc. Depending on how we draw here, yeah. I think with Demon Form on turn 1, I'll even keep the liquid bronze for... for Act 2 here. So this attack from Hexaghost on turn 2 here, it's based on what your current HP value is. For every 12 hit points you have, it does 1 times 6 additional damage. So if you're below 12 hit points, this is only a 1/6 attack on turn 1. Whereas if we were at the full 80 hit points, this would be a 7/6 or 8/6. It's one of the reasons that resting before Hexaghost is usually ill-advised, since you lose some of the value, not all of it, but some of the value of that rest in damage that you just take on the next turn anyway. Defend, gain some more strength, and we'll keep the Art of War for another turn here. But our Bash is ready and is being delivered now for maximum impact. It's going to be a ×2 attack next turn, so I'm going to want the Shrug It Off in my hand next turn for that. Let's see, this is... yes, Cleave Plus is better than Strike, even with Strike Dummy. Could actually just Sever Soul here. Delete all the defends. We're not being attacked next turn. We only take 1 more damage. I'm gonna do it. It's a buff to extra... wait, we are being attacked next turn. The turn after this, we're not being attacked. What's that acronym? Either way, we have lethal here, so it matters not. Easy peasy. Look at that damage. Ho ho! This is definitely a deck that wants a feed. With Pyramid, we can always have it available on hand. And a joke for Surf Wizard. What's the Ironclad's favorite beverage on a hot summer day? Barrack Aid. Goes down easy. I am going to take the feed, though. I think that's going to let us scale our max HP per combat. We should be able to land it pretty effectively. There's an argument for the Barricade here with the Art of War. But I think, in general, that Barricade and Pyramid aren't very good friends with one another. Say 3-cost power that lets you retain your block from turn to turn. But with a Pyramid, you can retain your block cards from turn to turn already. And so there's less value. Still some value in retaining the block, but less value. Forgotten Arbiter, thank you so much for remembering that you too have a Prime button, and thank you so much for the 13 months of support. Give me that feed. And now we get another boss relic? What? That seems unfair. Fusion Hammer prevents us from upgrading. Sacred Bark prevents us, or doesn't prevent us from doing anything. It gives us stuff. Gives us double effectiveness of potions, specifically. Which makes the energy potion and liquid bronze pretty strong. I think Sacred Bark's quite effective, quite a good boss relic, specifically below Ascension 11, when you lose that third potion slot. Or the Coffee Dripper, which gives us more energy but prevents us from resting. It's a shame we couldn't afford the Feather, true, but we will have a little bit of sustain in the form of this feed. Trying to figure out how much damage this deck's going to take from lousy turn 1s in various combats. It would definitely be a shame to not be able to upgrade certain cards, but I think the Fusion Hammer might be the reliable take here. Easy energy. Encourages us to rest, which is more valuable anyway with feed scaling our max HP. And we have some of the important pieces of this deck in place. As is, we're also below Ascension 12 here, so we're going to see quite a few upgraded cards. I think I prefer, actually, the Fusion Hammer moving forward then. Shame we didn't assemble an Armaments. We would have really been rewarded for that with more max HP and an easier Fusion Hammer take, but I still think I end up taking the Hammer here. And that allows me to path for fewer rest sites and more elites. So we'll make that a priority. We'll also prioritize quite a few combats here, so that we can get our max HP going. So I'm thinking taking this combat line up the middle, going elites, elites, rest up, elites, maybe fight the Burning Elite, or rest up and fight another elite anyway. We also get to stock up at this store, and we'll have lots of cash, since each of these elites drops on average 30 gold, and each of these combats drops on average 15 gold. So that's, what, 75 plus 90? That's, we're gonna have more than enough money to buy an uncommon relic. Not quite rare relic money, unless we get some from an event. Alright, well, this is what I was keeping the liquid bronze for, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Book of Stabbing, but no, this seems appropriate. I'll knock one of them out of the sky here, so we do take some damage. Unless I can lower the health of one of them enough to reduce it. No, not quite. Dies with the last hit, which does not help me there. But this is why we took the Fusion Hammer and not the Coffee Dripper. Ooh. two different ways to apply Vulnerable here. Shockwave applies Weaken Vuln, whereas Thunderclap is an upgraded card. So it scales with our Excellent Strength, and does 1 Vulnerable. And remember, we have a Bottled Bash. Thunderclap will be impeccable against enemies like the 3 Slavers. Who's our Act Boss? Bronze Automaton. Whereas the Shockwave works better with the Art of War. But heck, I rarely get opportunities to take Thunderclap and have it feel really good. I'm going to take this Thunderclap. And we'll see opportunities where maybe it was better to take one, and opportunities where it was better to take the other. Can I get a kill here? Let's see. Pummel Strike is going to do 9 more, so this will be 21. And then 10 goes to what, 17? 75% additional damage, so yeah, 17.5, which scales down to 17. So 10 plus 21 plus 17. That's 48. Gosh, Paper Frog is very strong. Exactly chompers. Delicious. Hello, block cards? Block cards are all sleeping. Take the Art of War here. $15 damage from an Anger. Yeah, this deck slaps. So strong. Upgraded Clothesline. I was just thinking we would appreciate a source of weaken, since we skipped that. Shockwave. Separately, Clothesline and Thunderclap is an interesting way to achieve the same means. I'll take it. This deck is pretty attack heavy now, but that is not a bad thing. Can you spend that energy? We'll hold the Anger to go with the Bash here. Eat Birdman. Oh. Okay, this we do defend, bash, then we kill next turn. We'll play this. $43 damage, Sever Soul. Dang. Actually quite glad I upgraded that card. Entropic Brew gives me a lot of hope for this to be a 4 elite act, being 3 potions in 1. Again, we find lots of upgraded cards. This is why I was happy to take Fusion Hammer. This is sub Ascension 10. You're going to see a lot of upgraded cards, even in Act 2. And I honestly really dig this Metallicized as a block source for us. Just 4 block every single turn. Contributes a lot in longer fights. Gets out of the way. Yeah. That's right, Eldar. The Ascension rate that lowers the upgraded card rate halves it. Normally, the base rates are a 25% chance to see upgraded cards per card in Act 2 and 50% chance per card in Act 3. And those rates are cut in half to 12.5% and 25% when you're above Ascension 12, I believe. Bites are an interesting premise. This would have saved us had we taken the Coffee Dripper, enabling us to exchange our strikes for bites. But we've removed several strikes already, and we have the strike dummy, which makes our strikes do more damage than the bites do. So we will refuse the Stinky Vampire offer, and proceed this way. Centurion Mystic, pure luck that neither of them are attacking us on turn 1 here. We'll make sure to do enough damage, rather than opting to play the Demon form, which would cause the Mystic to do something unsightly to me on the next turn. We're going to do a lot of damage to the Centurion here, not only hoping to get a kill immediately, but forcing the Mystic to use her healing powers here. Try to save her Centurion friend. All in vain, though, of course. Whether the Mystic heals or not is dependent on how many hit points are missing from the combatants. As long as there's at least 16 hit points missing, I think, or 20 above Ascension 17, she's forced to heal on her turn. But she can't heal more than twice in a row. Heavy Blade. That's our late game scaling solution. Normally, I'm not a fan of Heavy Blade. I will be the first to admit, I don't like this card, generally, because it doesn't do very much damage when you don't have strength, and it is very expensive. But this deck can afford to play it, and it has an upgrade that we value a lot. Again, these random upgrades with the Fusion Hammer. I have never had Blood Vial and not given it to the Vampires, New Urchin, no. I can imagine... theoretically... So you'd have to have a situation where you'd want the Blood Vial more than you'd want the max HP. I could foresee this happening in an endless mode run. Somehow. Swift Potion's pretty valuable here. But it's not as valuable as a Gambler's Brew. I guess it's more valuable than an Energy Potion. I might regret that immediately. Can I have my Energy Potion back? Actually, no, I am going to use the Swift Potion here, aren't I? Yeah, this would have been a good energy pot, because then I could have played Heavy Blade. That's okay, let's see if Swift Potion can bail us out in its own way. No, no it can't. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we did draw a strike, so we can kill the back line here, and we should. Or I could do, like, Shrug Demon Form? No, that's not happening. Let's not do that. Oh, God. I see. Hold on. Help! Didn't realize that was going to be one short. Oh, dear. Alright, what do you got? Okay, we've solved the problem. Problem has been solved. But that was not pretty. I'll be the first to admit. It's only a moderate amount of panic. One off. Versus... In that case, I'll eat your friend. So here's where Silver Soul might actually save us from wounds, although we don't get that many wounds added on this Ascension level. No, we never had to play it. Courier's quite nice, making our money go a bit further. Bloodletting is an interesting way to get energy, but do we need it? Not sure that we do, especially not at the cost of one card draw. Though the fact that it says plus on it is appealing here. Pre-patch seeded run? Sure. Sure, I'll take that, Mr. Spokes. That's a good answer. Let's skip that. I'm down to 38 HP already. I guess because the slavers hurt me. Yeah, but we have a regen potion. We are going into an elite next floor yet. Let's use this regen potion. Although we might not be able to get the full value. This is a fairly quick fight as they scale up their damage pretty rapidly here. Wonder if I was meant to demon form there. No, put such thoughts out of your mind, young Ironclad. We're meant only to feed. Okay, now we're just gonna stall a little bit for a bit more hit points from our regen potion. Definitely appreciating the metallicize here. But you can see that for most combats, we simply don't need the demon form to get our damage up quickly enough, thanks to a combination of upfront energy, immediate scaling with the spot weakness, and our paper frog multiplication. Flex is kind of interesting. So is Trugrit. Cards that I can't upgrade, though, less interesting, and I think because of the Fusion Hammer, I'm a lot more inclined to skip all of these. Especially this Trugrit, which targets a random card, and I don't really want to do that right now. No thanks. Gremlin Leader. More like Gremlin Bleeder. The line of play here. Can I kill both gremlins? Don't think so. No, I cannot kill them both. So I should kill the fat gremlin such that we do not become weak. And deploy our metallicize. Might get attacked by the leader here, and if so, I've got potions to save me, but we don't, which is good. Pick off the mad gremlin. Well, we have the opportunity. Also get down our bash on the leader here. Cleave next turn will take out these reinforcements. Especially paired with Thunderclap. Unfortunately, we are being attacked as well. Hey, Bart. Great to see you as ever. So good. So something that I'm allowed to do is Speed Potion, play 4 defends, and take 0 damage here. That's pretty tempting. I could do Thunderclap, Cleave, Defend, and take 16. And that gives me Art of War for next turn. Yeah, I think I like that Speed Potion line most of all. We'll be weak next turn, but that's okay. It's still going to be enough to kill both gremlins with Thunderclap Cleave. And I can play Demon Form, or I can just go for more damage. Let's just do more damage. The Demon Form story. I'll play it next fight. Gremlin Horn from Gremlin Leader, and our Speed Potion returns to us. And an Offering, which I think is pretty good here. Now that we have more hit points to work with, and with the Fusion Hammer, we have a bit of an excess of hit points. How often do I find Fusion Hammer winds up being similar to a Busted Crown pick? Not very often, I don't think. I think that the Fusion... There's still plenty of unupgraded cards we'll want with the Fusion Hammer. Case in point with this Offering. Kunai is pretty tough to make work. We do play 3 attacks a fair bit, but we don't actually have that many block cards. I think this is a Sapphire Key. Kunai and Ironclad just don't go that well together. The Book of Stabarino. So the basis behind the Sever Soul pick, Broken Bard, was we wanted a way to remove cards from hands with Runic Pyramid. Helps us deal with statuses, curses, stuff we can't play or don't want to play. And it fulfilled the role of 2-cost attack at the same time. Generally speaking, especially with Runic Pyramid, I'll prefer a second wind, but you don't always get offered second wind. And the second best card at doing a particular thing is sometimes exactly what you need. That's how I feel about that Sever Soul. Okay, Demon Form turn 1 here. Sure, why not? That actually means we don't play any attacks, we get bonus energy next turn too. Good. This is a base of 39. We don't have lethal on this turn, although we're actually pretty close. Tempted to Pummel Strike. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is Pummel Strike before Vuln here. See if I draw a block card. I do. Okay. That means I'm not going to... So we're just going to Thunderclap? No, it's Defend Metallicized Clothesline, yeah. Excuse me. And then on this turn we T-Clap, Anger, Heavy Blade does 85? Dang. And eat that book. Thread and Needle gives us Plated Armor, that's block at the end of each turn, and so is a Heart of Iron, which is Metallicized. Warcry Plus is kind of weird with the Runic Pyramid. Is that actually helpful? Yes, it lets me save a card from Sever Soul, actually. I want that. And yes, let's take out the Burning Elite now. We're in good position to do so. And we don't need extra fires because we have a Fusion Hammer. And your store is so cheap, dude. 18 gold for a Shrug It Off. That's a hell of a deal. I quite like the Sling of Courage here, giving us additional strength during elite fights, too. Hey, you're welcome, Broken Bard. The other reason that we took the Sever Soul truly is that it has a +6 damage upgrade, going from 16 to 22, and that's a sizable upgrade if you've got one to invest. 22 for 2 ends up being a pretty reasonable use of your energy to damage. Not quite as good as a Carnage Plus, but you don't always get offered a Carnage. Is there something wrong with it? Exhume could get back Offering. Not the world's best Exhume. Let's take the Sling. And Regal Pillow. Whenever we rest, heal an additional 15 hit points. Theoretically pretty good with a Fusion Hammer, but I suspect that we don't need it. Instead, let's purchase a card removal here. Shrink this deck down further, removing yet another strike card. That's true. Moment of appreciation for the Sever Soul art. Also, what is up with the Sever Soul art? Look at this sword. This is not the Ironclad's sword. Whose sword is this? It's like a scimitar, curved, you know, you've got a kind of a flourishy handle and a pointed tip. Whereas the Ironclad sword has that characteristic backwards curve to it. And the handle is... Both of these go down. Whereas the Ironclad, one goes up and one goes down. So whose sword is this? Oh, hit Exhume feed. I completely missed that I had a feed when I was looking at that Exhume. Feed and Exhume are pretty good together. see. Instead of playing offering, what if I just do this? Oh yeah, we have Gremlin Horn. Hype. Cool with that turn. Room in hand. Want the Thunderclap next turn for the incoming gremlins, and the Small Weakness doesn't work this turn. 12 damage. Not quite enough for the Sneaky Gremlin, but again, we have Gremlin Horn here. Can I draw a Cleave? Blah. Too much damage from Heavy Blade, oops. The Griffland stream is not still sponsored, Saffron. I'm playing it of my own free will and interest tonight. Gambling Chip is here, allowing us to discard any number of cards on turn 1 and draw that many. If only this were the world, we'd been able to afford that bag of prep at the first store. Oh well. Body Slam's starting to get better with 2 copies of Shrug, but you can't use it with the block from the Threadneedle or the block from Metallicize without Barricade, which we did pass on. So I don't think that I want it. Yeah. Oh, and now we can gamble away our Bottled Bash, so the Bottled Flame ended up just being really good, I think. Okay, I'll take 10 hit points from this potion. Sounds fine to me. Vicious Snake Plant is a real rude customer on turn 1, generally speaking. But we got him. Okay, Thunderclap Sever Soul would actually be too much damage. Let's hold that Thunderclap for next turn, so that we can feed. Another Heart of Iron? I'm down. That's pretty cool. There will be more Outer Wild streams, Scotty. I'm planning on revisiting that on Sunday. We'll have some more Outer Wilds. But yes, there will be more. Would I take Barricade if another one was offered, having now the Threadneedle and Metallicize? It would be worth considering. Certainly a lot more than it was the first time around. Armor here can upgrade Shrug or Offering or Feed. This does give me max HP sometimes, and I think I do want a little bit more block density. I don't think this is a particularly good addition, but I will take it. Okay, I was hoping we'd see our demon form. Unfortunately not. These cards don't do a whole lot of damage. I think I'd rather have the Art of War. Or the turn 2 here. Play our Offering. There's armaments. To upgrade what exactly, though? Still looking to get demon form down, potentially. Don't Don't forget that we have Gremlin Horn. Okay, so one of our rare cards is being stolen next turn. That's fine. I guess we'll just block as hard as we can then. Can actually just KO these. That's a good idea. And we can remove an artifact layer with Clothesline, too. Armaments on the feed. Heavy Blade already does 85 damage. Let's do that now, because I bet it'll be too much damage next turn. If I had to guess. Hyper Beam is here, but I think it's a little bit late for our automaton friend. Right, this is 36 plus a bunch. Delicious. GG. Well, there's the barricade again, so now I have to reevaluate it. Alright, you forced my hand. Okay, so, real talk. With 2 Heart of Irons, this barricade is genuinely tempting. For the heart fight especially, that would allow us to turn these, genuinely just these 2 potions into, like, a whole block thing. That's pretty cool. Could take a second offering here, or a second feed. We unfortunately turned down the Sacred Bark. This could have been 24 Metallicized. That would have been a cool way to beat Heart. I am going to take this barricade, though. I think it's nice with Art of War as well. Is this the day we take Pyramid Snecko? I don't think so. Snecko would cause our cards to be random cost. Although Gambling Chip makes it interesting. Interesting is what I would call Snecko Eye here. Very interesting. Can never upgrade this barricade either. Busted Crown gives us extra energy every turn, but we get fewer card rewards, or the Black Star gives us additional relics from elites, and we're going to be killing a lot of elites already. And we have the Sling of Courage to help us do so as well. No fear of Reptomancer with a Gremlin Horn. No real fear of Giant Head either with this deck. Let's take a Black Star. And you never have fear of Nemesis with Runic Pyramid. So how many elites do we get to kill? That's the first and most important question. The answer is 3. That'll be 6 relics for us. Not amazing, but certainly not bad. And a late store if we want one. Meanwhile, we'll dodge fires where we can, which we can't always do. So go this way. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to go to that store. We'll start here. Come on, boots. Where are your boots at? I feel like I need to play that, right? A weird turn 1. Thunderclap Heavy Blade V to kill. 50 plus 26, it sure is. Tasty. Ooh, gotta love a Disarm. Disarm is very, very good against Time Eater. Very, very good against the Heart. Great for just slowing enemies down in general. Good with Barricade, too. Most max HP I'm able to generate in recent memory? We've had a 200 plus run relatively recently. The all-time record is this. Lose anger. I don't think that's something that I want to... Well, I have to lose one of these, right? So Shrug, Barricade, or Anger. Okay, when you put it like that, I guess I can lose our anger here. And let's do one more event. The Merchant. A merchant offering us a Toxic Egg. Merchant also offering us a Feel No Pain. This deck definitely can do some exhausting, particularly with our Sever Soul. Is the full video of the 453 HP run still around? It should be. I believe I put it in the Twitch highlights. And once you highlight something on Twitch, it's around forever. Now, actually finding it on Twitch is unfortunately a little bit difficult. Teutonic Knight, thank you so much for continuing that gift sub from Triple Boot. That run will not be on the YouTube, no. It'll be somewhere on the archives, which I bet would be very hard to find. Although the date of it would actually tell you, maybe. But that'd be a pretty long dig through the archives to find it. We do again have 2 YouTube channels for the channel there. The full stream archives, unedited full streams on YouTube at the Baalorlord Archives, and then our actual YouTube channel for edited highlight runs. That's just the straight up Baalorlord YouTube. Why couldn't the Ironclad have any bread when he went to France? Because he can feel no pain. It's a sad time. I do think I am going to be taking this Feel No Pain. 3 block whenever we exhaust a card. Gimme. Oh, and a Dark Embrace. Whenever a card is exhausted, draw a card to go with it. How much do we need that? That's going to turn Sever Soul, and that is another reason to want something like a Sever Soul. I am going to take that. And I'm going to remove a card. Sean, thank you so much for that gifted sub. I can appreciate that support. Just get rid of all of it, please. Thanks. Okay, somehow didn't find really any of our block cards still. I guess we don't have that many. Can I just kill you on turn 1? Kind of. Actually, kind of, yeah. +24 plus 24. Okay, I'm gonna go for the middle one here. This is more reasonable. 30 damage incoming. Block is 19. We need a little bit more. $24. Covered now. But let's do Art of War things, so let's just play defend here. Very good Act 1 Exhaust Pivot, because it's an attack and not a skill. A card you're happy to take in the early game that you still want to have around in some capacity in the late game. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Okay, and we're actually fairly incentivized to go power heavy here, thanks to Art of War. Because as long as we're spending our turns just trying to get many powers in play, we're going to get rewarded with more stuff. More energy. And then when we're ready to go aggro, the Sever Soul with the Dark Embrace is going to pull off some interesting things for us. Shrug Plus, very good. With Feel No Pain Dark Embrace, I think this has to be a Shrug Plus over the strength gain of the Inflame. But both the Shrug and the Inflame are good for their own reasons here. Okay, let's take another combat. I want more max HP. Yeah, Saffron, I run Slay the Spire in a windowed mode. I am more than capable of running Spire at higher resolutions, but there are certain UI elements that don't scale properly. So it looks weird if I try to stream at higher res. By 2. We got lucky that we have not been attacked by the singular big attack from this enemy so far. Lots of luck here. It's fascinating how quickly this deck transitioned from being mostly attacks to almost playing none of its attacks in the opening stages of combat. Strike Plus is decent here. 13 damage, draw 2. Ghostly Armor Plus is really efficient block and can exhaust if we need it to. I think we're looking for more big upgraded block cards to go with our Barricade, Art of War, so that'll be good. And a Duplication Potion is very strong with a whole bunch of different things that we have. Back up to full HP, and a Glowing Tesseract. We'll happily look at some colorless cards. There's more than a few that are pretty good here, notably Violence or Master Strategy. That's unfortunately all we get. Swift Strike benefits from Strike Dummy. This is good. This is zero-cost card draw. Sadistic Nature is actually not the worst. I don't think we want any of these. We already have a on-kill effect to work towards with Feed, so Hand of Greed is a lot less valuable. Alright. Rock Easy Robot, thank you so much for that Prime sub. Keep it cozy. And Cook, thank you as well for the Prime sub and those 3 months of support. So happy to still have you with us. Okay, so... Barricade not in play. Not being attacked this turn. Don't want to Sever Soul to... spot weakness. Guess we go with Thunderclap, Clothesline... Violence here. Not exactly the set of cards I wanted at the bottom, but that's okay. Having a little bit of hand clog problems here. Just a little bit. Okay, now we're in serious territory. We need to get... We need to get out of our situation and fast. What if that means I play Sever Soul this turn? Delete all these clunky non-attack cards. Draw all this. Although I should probably play the Offering first if I'm going to do that. Yeah, and then rather than mucking about, we don't have time here anymore. Rather than mucking about with playing any of this crap, let's just get rid of it. And opt for our more immediate scaling solutions. Already played an attack, so let's keep doing that. Okay, Heavy Blades at 94 with Thunderclap, that's going to be a ton more. Does Thunderclap Heavy Blade feed kill is the question. I think the answer is not quite. We could with Dupe Pot, or we could just tank a hit. Don't want to dupe the Heavy Blade because that would be an instant kill. After a Thunderclap, I guess we could dupe Heavy Blade before. Let me do the math on this. It's going to be 23 plus 94 times 1.1 from one stack of slow times 1.75, which is 180. So we do 203, and then feed does 28 times 1.75 times 1.2, which is 58. So 203 plus 58 is not quite. Very, very close, but not quite. Okay. So in that case, we're going to block. It's blocking better with Clothesline, blocks for like 12 here, or 2 defends will block for 13. And I'll get the Art of War? Okay. Doesn't matter. Now we play this and try to redraw Shrug Plus or whatever. So we take 9, which is completely reasonable, and I think a good price to pay to save the Dupe Pot. Alright, our future elites will be easier with 25% fewer hit points. Warp Hate will upgrade to 2 random skills, and I'm eyeing maybe a Sword Boomerang here for another strength damage delivery mechanism. Let's see what the skills that get upgraded are. Okay, yes, Spot Weakness. I was hoping we would see that. I'll take a Boomerang then. Centennial Puzzle's great, upfront card draw when we take damage. And the smallest nemesis in the world. Greetings, tiny ghost man. Might not have been the most efficient turn, but we're good, we're good. Oh boy. Why, hello there. Mr. Angry Spirit. Oh yeah, that's also gonna make our offering drumware. I would like to block though. No! Actually, that's fine. We can go Feel No Pain, Violence. That's a full block too. But I need to draw my armaments again, because I have not... Order. Not got feet upgraded here. Tasty. White Bee statue significantly increases our chances of finding more Heart of Irons. And I think at this point, I just kind of want to lean into this Metallicize. Let's take another one here. Let's use Duplication Potion on Metallicize against the Heart. Let's use both Heart of Irons and get like 30 Metallicize. Yes, please. Okay, still haven't seen Mind Bloom. Let's take an event here. Winding Halls. Well, I don't want Madnesses. I don't want to Writhe. Lose a bit of max HP here. Let's go to the Act 4 shop. D2. The Thread Needle really helps make the Metallicize feel quite a bit better, I think. It's a bit awkward. Yes, optimally I'm blocking with Feel No Pain's Sever Soul here. But that prevents me from upgrading feed. I'd rather just lose the current HP. This is fine. So again, here, Sever Soul allows us to simply clear everything out of our hand while generating a ton of block and card draw. Essence of Steel, more plated armor? Arma Plus. Yeah, more upgrades. Or a Body Slam, also pretty good here. Hold on. Body Slam at least worth considering, doing damage equal to our Blanc. But I feel like we have our damage sorted with Heavy Blade, Sword Boomerang, Demon Form. This is kind of a bit tangential. Let's instead take the card that makes us better at executing on the strategy we already have, the armaments. Actually, that's perfect, right? Italicized, Demon Form, Defend, we get 8, yeah, 13 block, perfect. We just draw the attacks, don't play them. Develop a crippling barricade addiction. Then just don't draw the armaments ever? Alright. I see how it is. Lower that damage output so that we can keep our barricaded block a little bit longer here. Blade does 112? Okay, let's... Careful not to overkill here. Oddly Smooth Stone makes our Blancs block for one more. Another Arma? That's too many armaments. Hey Jambros, we had a glorious success on our Cell run. And I'm looking forward to some more Grifflands today, checking out Smith's story. We'll be doing that after a few runs of Slay the Spire. Instead, let's simply upgrade some of the attacks that we have. Feed gets upgraded, as does Pommel Strike, making our life a little bit easier for the remaining couple of fights. That feed upgrade sure would have been better earlier, though, right? A fresher duplication potion to take with us to the heart. Don't mind if I do. Haven't played any Arcadium since our first stream of it. Waiting for a couple more of the patches to come for that one. I think it does need a little bit of polish work, specifically on its sound design. Arcanium does. I guess I'm just going to play all the block cards. Art of War here. Feels good. This is the highest possible damage turn 1 and fight in the game. That's right, Obelisk. If they all attack you for 17 on turn 1. Although the exact number will vary on your Ascension level. But yes, if they all do their highest damage attack on turn 1, which happens occasionally, then it's bad times. Very bad times. Get him. Gambler's Brew is not more metallicized, so it can get the heck out of here. Max strength for both the player and for enemies is 999. Can't go beyond that. Alright, that's definitely a good fight for our barricade on turn 1. No reason not to offering here. I'm just gonna play all the powers. Okay, and there's Arma for our disarm, and for our demon form if we want to get that in play too. Hold on a second. Just want to find the other Arma, maybe? Ah, it doesn't matter that much. I can use Violence and Warcry to reset the timer here, which I think is a good idea. Maybe we should have played that demon form earlier, but we're in it now. We're headed where we need to go. This poor Time Eater is going to have a very bad time very shortly. Bonk. I thought I would draw more attack cards. It's fine. Too much damage. Also too much damage. Eskar, go home, Time Eater. Two thump, a deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. Is this the heart of the spire, the source of all of this metallicizing? Deal 1,412 damage, the approximate number of turns it takes your enemies to kill you. And we'll rest for one lonely hit point. I mean, I think the only reasonable thing to do at this point is to buy more Metallicize. Right? Surely. What does Spoon get us? Not a whole lot. Maybe it gets Disarm back, maybe it gets Violence back, but for the most part Spoon doesn't do a whole lot. Could let me feed twice against Spire Spear, Spire Shield. I think I'm just going to remove that last strike here. Pummel not bad either, scaling with our strength. And exhausting. Definitely not bad. Let's get rid of you, and I'm actually going to keep both of these metallicizes. Yeah. Arma the Arma. I'm in. 1 metallicize, 2 metallicize. 3 metallicize. Okay, I think I Arma before Battle Trancing here. I want to draw more cards. And I want the Shrug to get upgraded. This looks a little bit painful. Do regret slightly not removing the artifact from the Spire Spear so that we could disarm on this turn, but that's okay. I think I'll simply get the barricade in play. 44 next turn. We might be able to kill the Spire Shield outright next turn. We could use a duplication potion to make something happen. Like dupe pawning, disarm or something. But that's less metallicize on the heart. Exactly. That is something I cannot allow. So do I just Barricade Defend, or is it Dark Embrace Defend? I think it's Barricade Defend. Take a bunch of damage here. But what are hit points for, if not for losing? Right? Oh, and we actually have less strength now. Right. So we could kill the Spire Shield with our Duplication Potion, but as aforementioned, that is for the heart. Let's see what Warcry can find. Sever Soul True Grit. $27 plus 39, not enough. What size? What size helmet is does the Ironclad wear? Metallic size. Brilliant, Tafqua. So if I want best block this turn, we go like Feel No Pain, Disarm, Defend, True Grit. Guess I'll get rid of the demon form. So it's an M. Oh no. Alright, I don't like it, but I'm gonna do it. Feels wrong to turn around using this card. Actually, almost full block that. Lose the last of our stinky plated armor. Plus 47, that's a kill. I'm gonna take a kill when I get one. I'm just gonna take a kill when I'm offered one. I actually did kill a penguin once, have not an extra credit for a dad joke, but one of the extra credit questions on my exams was use symbols from the periodic table to spell something amusing or something funny. It was neat seeing what students came up with using that kind of limited alphabet. Let's see. What's a chemistry classic, dad joke? What do you do with a sick chemist? If you can't heal him or cure him, you bury him. And on. More max HP, I'm in Orichalcum. It's kind of like more Metallicize. And you know what? I do like Sentinel here with our exhausting mechanics. Alright, let's go, Mr. Heart. I've got 119 hit points and a lot of block per turn with your name on it. I actually do want to draw from Centennial Puzzle here with Beat of Death, too. Do I Arma this offering and draw even more? I think so. Oh, nice. Let me get Barricade down on turn 1. Easy game. 24 block per turn. Actually, no, 28 block per turn. No, Batman. Yeah, we have to upgrade this Metallicize. It is required. Behold the Blunkening. Do I disarm now or later? This is an important question. The answer is later. Okay, but I would like to draw my Metallicize now. Game. So we'll only draw Thunderclap currently, so let's just hold on to that. Gain space here. I guess I'll wait one more turn, might as well. Artifact. Want to eat the hearts. Okay, here we go. A full 28 Metallicize plus 4 plated armor. A beauty to behold. I would like Thunderclap now, please. That actually put it in the discard pile. I didn't realize it would do that. Play disarm next turn. We've removed the artifact charges, so we can disarm for full value here. And we will. We're also now drawing a card with each exhaust. And suddenly that Sever Soul is looking pretty tempting. 199. The heart, unfortunately, ain't one. GG. One delicious, hearty meal. Served up on a platter. GG. Hey everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Did you know that I'm live 5 days a week on Twitch? Come join us to watch me live, ask questions, or chill with the community. Click the link in the description below to follow and be notified when I'm live. And while you're down there, make like a sandwich and sub to this channel for more fresh Baylor content. Ta-ta for now.